Sapiens, A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari. Sapiens is an essential book for anyone who wants to understand how history has shaped the modern world. Yuval Noah Harari offers a detailed analysis of humanity's journey, from the cognitive revolution to the age of technological innovation. What makes the book unique is the way it connects human biology with historical events, showing that many of our current choices and institutions are the fruit of evolutionary processes that began thousands of years ago. Bill Gates recommends Sapiens because the book goes beyond historical facts. It provokes reflection on who we are as a species and where we are going. Harari presents a timeline that goes from the first hunter-gatherer societies to today's complex social and economic networks. In doing so, the author explores the factors that set us apart from other species, such as our ability to create myths and believe in abstract concepts like religion and money. These concepts, which may seem commonplace to us today, were fundamental to the emergence of great civilizations. The book also addresses religion as a belief system essential for social cohesion, but without taking sides. Harari discusses how ancient religious systems helped consolidate empires and how, in the modern world, these systems have gradually been replaced by political and economic ideologies. For Gates, understanding these transitions is crucial, as it helps to understand the current challenges of globalized society. Another strong point of Sapiens is the way it approaches politics. Harari reveals that what we take for granted in power dynamics is actually a historical construction. He shows how the elites of different eras have used cultural narratives to justify their domination and perpetuate inequalities. Harari's critical view of political power resonates with Bill Gates' interest in understanding the structures that govern the world, especially in the context of his philanthropy and global governance concerns. Finally, Sapiens reflects deeply on the future of humanity. With the advance of biotechnology and artificial intelligence, Harari questions whether the human species is ready to deal with the ethical and moral consequences of these innovations. Bill Gates recommends this book precisely because it challenges the reader to think critically about humanity's role in the future and the responsibilities we have to ensure sustainable progress. Business Adventures by John Brooks. Bill Gates has no hesitation in saying that Business Adventures is his favorite book on business. Written by John Brooks, the book stands out for its ability to combine captivating stories from the corporate world with valuable lessons on entrepreneurship and finance. Rather than being a technical manual, the book tells real stories from Wall Street and the business world, showing that the fundamental principles of success are timeless. Each chapter of the book features a specific case study, looking at companies and leaders who have faced critical decision-making moments. Gates recommends this book because Brooks reveals, through engaging narratives, how even corporate giants are subject to the same mistakes and challenges as small entrepreneurs. A classic example is the case of the Ford Motor Company and the failure of the Edsel, a car launched in the 1950s that became synonymous with commercial disaster. The story illustrates how even the best companies can fail if they fail to understand the needs of the market. The richness of Business Adventures lies precisely in the insights into how business decisions are made under pressure and how luck, timing, and intuition play key roles. Gates has always stressed that, as well as being fun to read, the book offers valuable lessons that remain relevant no matter how technological or modern the business environment becomes. Brooks focuses on the failures and successes of leaders who have had to make difficult choices, and it is precisely this human perspective that makes the book so impactful. For Bill Gates, the book also serves as a reminder that, deep down, business is about people. John Brooks doesn't just analyze numbers and financial statements, he explores the emotions, weaknesses, and motivations of the leaders and executives behind the big decisions. In doing so, the author captures the essence of entrepreneurship, something that Gates considers fundamental for anyone who wants to succeed in business. Another aspect that makes Business Adventures special is its ability to demystify Wall Street. Brooks shows that, despite being a highly competitive and often unpredictable environment, there are universal principles that govern success. Among these principles are the importance of adaptation, the need for innovation, and, above all, the ability to learn from mistakes. Gates believes that, for any entrepreneur or investor, these lessons are invaluable. With stories ranging from financial scandals to product innovations, Business Adventures remains topical even though it was written decades ago. It reinforces the idea that, regardless of the era or the technologies involved, what really matters are strategic decisions, market understanding, and effective people management. For Gates, these are the pillars of any successful enterprise, which is why he considers John Brooks' book essential reading. Where Good Ideas Come From by Steven Johnson. Steven Johnson, in Where Good Ideas Come From, offers a fascinating insight into how great ideas don't appear suddenly, like a flash of inspiration, but are the result of a process of evolution and combination of concepts over time. This is one of the reasons Bill Gates recommends reading it, as the book reveals that innovation is not a matter of luck, but the fruit of an environment that favors creativity and the exchange of ideas. Johnson introduces the concept of possible adjacencies, suggesting that new ideas are often the result of combining existing elements. Rather than a single isolated genius, the best ideas often emerge from collaborative networks, where different thoughts intersect and generate new solutions. This insight is important to Gates, who has always stressed the importance of an environment conducive to innovation, whether within companies, startups, or research laboratories. Reading this book invites the reader to rethink the idea of creativity as a solitary effort and to value the role of diversity of thought. Another central point of the book is the importance of mistakes in the innovation process. Johnson argues that great advances often arise from experiments that don't go as planned, but that instead of being seen as failures, these failed attempts end up opening new doors. Bill Gates strongly believes in this principle, as he himself has experienced countless trials and errors throughout his career, both at Microsoft and in his philanthropic projects. The ability to learn from mistakes and adapt quickly is one of the greatest differentiators of the most innovative minds, and Johnson shows this in a clear and inspiring way. One of the most captivating aspects of Where Good Ideas Come From is the historical analysis of significant innovations, from the invention of the microscope to the rise of the internet. Johnson explores how these ideas did not emerge in isolation, but rather in fertile ecosystems where different ideas and experiments could connect. For Gates, this historical perspective is crucial, as it demonstrates that in order to prepare for the future, it is necessary to understand the patterns of innovation that have shaped the past. This is especially relevant in a world of constant technological change, where the next big idea can come from anywhere. Johnson also defends the idea that chaotic and interdisciplinary environments are catalysts for the emergence of good ideas. For Gates, this concept makes total sense. He believes that the best solutions to complex problems often emerge when people with different skills and perspectives work together. The synergy between different areas, such as science, technology, art, and design, is what allows innovation to flourish more efficiently and sustainably. Finally, Where Good Ideas Come From not only inspires the reader to look for new ways of thinking, but also challenges the idea that innovation is a purely individual process. The book argues that we can all develop environments that encourage creativity and innovation, as long as we are open to collaboration, error, and the constant exchange of ideas. For Gates, this is a fundamental principle for anyone who wants to impact the world with their ideas. How to Lie with Statistics by Darrell Huff. How to Lie with Statistics by Darrell Huff is a timeless classic that Bill Gates considers essential for anyone who wants to understand how numbers can be used to deceive and manipulate. The book exposes, in a clear and often amusing way, how statistical data can be distorted to create misleading perceptions. This is especially important in today's world, where we are bombarded with information and graphics, both in marketing campaigns and political speeches. The book helps to develop a critical mindset, teaching us to look beyond superficial numbers and question the sources and methodologies behind statistics. One of the main reasons Gates recommends How to Lie with Statistics is the way it reveals the fallacies hidden in data that we often accept without question. Huff details various techniques used to distort statistics, such as the selective choice of samples, the use of misleading graphs, and the manipulation of averages. For example, a bar graph can be manipulated to make it appear that a difference is greater or less than it actually is, depending on the scale used. These techniques are often employed in advertising and political campaigns to convince the public of a certain narrative, regardless of the truth. Gates stresses that this book is essential for anyone involved in business, marketing, or any area that deals with large amounts of data. In a world driven by information, understanding how it can be manipulated is a vital skill. Huff's book teaches us not to take numbers for granted and to always ask, how was this statistic created? What is the story behind it? For Gates, this mindset of critical analysis is indispensable for anyone seeking to make well-informed decisions. Another interesting aspect is how Huff demonstrates that statistics can be used for both good and bad. If misused, they can create completely false narratives, influencing political, economic, and social decisions in harmful ways. On the other hand, when used well, statistics can be powerful tools for illuminating truths and solving complex problems. That's why Gates considers this book a must-read for anyone wishing to navigate more clearly in the vast ocean of information we receive on a daily basis. What's more, How to Lie with Statistics isn't just technical, it's also accessible and easy to read. Huff manages to demystify an often dry subject, making it understandable to anyone, regardless of their prior knowledge of mathematics or statistics. For Bill Gates, this is crucial. He believes that financial education and an understanding of data should be accessible to everyone, not just experts. In this sense, Huff's book offers the necessary tools so that anyone can question and critically interpret the information presented to them. Finally, the book reinforces a valuable lesson. No matter how sophisticated a statistical analysis is, it can be biased if the data is misinterpreted or manipulated. Gates believes that, in a world where important decisions are made based on numbers, having this understanding is essential to avoid being misled. Reading How to Lie with Statistics is an important step towards developing a more critical and informed vision, whether in personal life or in the business environment. Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. In Outliers, Malcolm Gladwell explores an intriguing question: what really sets extraordinarily successful people apart? Contrary to the popular belief that success is purely a matter of innate talent, Gladwell argues that external factors and opportunities play a crucial role. One of the most striking points in the book is the theory of 10,000 hours, which Bill Gates also highlights as a powerful concept. According to this theory, it takes 10,000 hours of deliberate practice for someone to become an expert in any field. However, Gates believes that Outliers goes beyond just promoting this idea. The book examines the role of social context, culture, and even luck in the development of success. Gladwell uses fascinating examples, such as the case of Canadian field hockey players, who have a greater chance of success depending on the month in which they were born, because of the age rules in youth leagues. This example illustrates how the environment and apparently trivial factors can directly influence who achieves success. Gates also identifies with the idea that opportunity is a determining factor for success. In the book, Gladwell mentions Gates' own story, explaining that he had access to computers at a time when this was a rarity, which gave him the chance to accumulate thousands of hours of practice while he was still young. For Gates, this reinforces the message that hard work and dedication are essential, but opportunities, often beyond our control, also play a crucial role. Another important concept explored in Outliers is the impact of cultural heritage on the performance of individuals and groups. Gladwell discusses, for example, how the way of communicating in certain cultures can influence success in fields such as aviation or business. This analysis is particularly relevant to Gates, who, in his own career, has always been concerned with understanding how different social and cultural contexts can impact human decisions and behavior, both in his business and in his philanthropy. Outliers also debunks the idea that great achievements are the result of solitary effort. Gladwell argues that success is often the result of support networks and favorable circumstances. This is in line with Gates' view of the value of collaboration and the exchange of ideas, both in the corporate environment and in social projects. For Gates, the book reminds us that, as well as skill and dedication, external factors such as the environment in which we grow up and the opportunities we are given are crucial to the development of successful people. Finally, Outliers makes it clear that although individual talent is important, it alone is not enough. The right circumstances need to align for success to flourish. Bill Gates finds this perspective deeply inspiring and realistic, as it offers a broader and more comprehensive view of what it takes to achieve success. In recommending Outliers, Gates invites the reader to reflect on how to work hard, seize opportunities, and recognize the importance of context when pursuing their goals. Making the Modern World by Václav Smil. Making the Modern World by Václav Smil is one of Bill Gates' favorite reads because of its detailed analysis of resource use and its impact on global economic growth. Smil, a thinker renowned for his comprehensive and meticulous approach, explores how nations, especially countries like China, have developed in recent decades, using natural resources on an impressive scale. For Gates, the book offers crucial insights into the trends shaping the future of the planet and, more importantly, how we can prepare ourselves to face these challenges. One of the main reasons Gates recommends this book is the way Smil puts resource consumption at the heart of the discussion on human progress. He examines the role of fossil fuels, minerals, and other essential resources in industrial development and maintaining modern living standards. Smil argues that while resources have enabled rapid and massive economic growth, they also carry serious environmental and social implications. Bill Gates, who is an advocate of sustainable solutions to global issues, sees this book as an opportunity to reflect on how to balance development with environmental preservation. The book also offers an in-depth analysis of China's role on the global stage. Smil highlights how China's explosive economic growth in recent decades has been fueled by an insatiable demand for resources, from coal to rare metals. Gates appreciates this approach because he understands that the future of the global economy is closely linked to what happens in China, both in terms of resource consumption and technological innovations. Making the Modern World offers a clear vision of the global dynamics that shape the economy, and Gates believes that anyone interested in predicting the future needs to understand these forces. Another relevant point explored by Smil is the relationship between technology and the use of resources. He shows how innovation has the potential to reduce environmental impact, but also warns of the limits of this technology. Gates sees this balance as one of the great challenges of our age. While technology can mitigate some of the damage caused by excessive resource consumption, Smil makes it clear that we are still far from completely solving these problems. For Gates, this perspective is fundamental, as it reinforces the need to seek more integrated and sustainable solutions. In addition, Making the Modern World challenges the reader to think more critically about economic growth. Smil questions the assumption that continuous growth is always desirable or sustainable. He explores the idea that eventually the limits of global resources may restrict growth, and this requires us to rethink how we measure progress. For Bill Gates, this is a vital point, especially as the world seeks ways to combat climate change and economic inequality, issues that are directly linked to resource consumption. Finally, Smil offers a sober and well-founded vision of the future. He is not an exaggerated optimist, but neither is he fatalistic. Instead, he suggests that with careful planning and strategic innovations, it is possible to manage resources more efficiently and sustainably. Gates appreciates this balanced approach and believes that Making the Modern World is essential reading for those who want to understand global challenges in a broad and realistic way. The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert. The Sixth Extinction by Elizabeth Kolbert is a powerful and urgent read that explores humanity's devastating impact on the environment and the imminent risk of species extinction. Bill Gates recommends this book not only for its scientific analysis, but for its call to action. Kolbert argues that we are living through the sixth great mass extinction in Earth's history, and this time humans are responsible. For Gates, who cares deeply about environmental issues, the book offers an essential overview of ecological problems and the opportunities for innovation for those seeking solutions. Kolbert begins by describing how, over the last 500 million years, the Earth has experienced 5 major extinctions, all caused by natural disasters. However, the sixth extinction, which is underway, has a different origin: human activity. Deforestation, climate change, pollution, and unbridled hunting are bringing many species to the brink of extinction. Gates values this in-depth analysis because it not only reveals the seriousness of the problem, but also forces us to recognize our role in it. More importantly, for him, we need to understand that by becoming aware of it, we can also take responsibility for finding solutions. One of the key aspects of the book is how Colbert details the different ways in which humans are impacting the planet. She examines everything from the acidification of the oceans to the loss of biodiversity in the rainforests, showing that human impact is far-reaching and devastating. This is something that resonates deeply with Bill Gates, who in his philanthropic efforts focuses on finding sustainable solutions to global environmental problems. He sees the book as an important wake-up call for entrepreneurs, scientists, and anyone with an interest in mitigating the consequences of environmental degradation. The Sixth Extinction is not only an analysis of the problems, but also a reflection on the future. Colbert discusses the opportunities that arise for those who are committed to finding solutions. She highlights scientists and innovators who are working on technologies that can help reverse some of the damage caused, such as efforts to save endangered species, create artificial habitats, and develop clean energies. Bill Gates, who strongly believes in the power of innovation to solve global problems, sees these stories of hope as key to inspiring real, concrete action. Colbert also makes us think about the future of humanity itself. If we continue on the current path, where resource consumption and environmental destruction have no limits, not only will other species be in danger, but our very survival could be at stake. Gates, who frequently warns about the impacts of climate change, sees this aspect of the book as a powerful reminder that environmental consequences are not distant or abstract. They affect us directly and demand immediate action. Finally, The Sixth Extinction offers a unique opportunity to reflect on how we can be part of the solution. For Gates, this is one of the book's greatest merits. It challenges us to think beyond the problems and to act responsibly and innovatively. Colbert makes it clear that there is still time to reverse some of the damage, but this will require a coordinated and committed effort on a global scale. Gates believes that this book is essential reading for all those who want not only to understand the human impact on the planet, but also to act to save the Earth's future. Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua 4. Moonwalking with Einstein by Joshua 4 is a fascinating book that explores the potential of human memory and how specific techniques can help expand our ability to remember information more effectively. Bill Gates recommends this book because he believes that the ability to retain and process information efficiently can be a differentiator in both personal and professional life. In a world saturated with data and distractions, improving memory is a skill that can provide a significant advantage, and 4 offers a practical and accessible guide to achieving this goal. The book recounts 4's own journey, which began as a journalist covering memory championships and eventually became a U.S. memory champion himself. He details how he achieved this using techniques such as the memory palace, an ancient strategy that allows you to associate information with specific locations in your mind, making it easier to recall later. Gates sees this as an extremely useful tool, especially for those who deal with large amounts of information on a daily basis. The idea that anyone can improve their memory with practice and discipline is something that resonates with the growth mindset that Gates values. 4 also explores the science behind memory, describing how the human brain is more efficient at remembering images and visual stories than single words or abstract numbers. He shows that by transforming raw data into mental images, we are able to retain this information for much longer. For Gates, this insight is valuable, as we are constantly surrounded by facts, statistics, and details that we often forget quickly. Improving memory, using the techniques presented by 4, can increase productivity and the ability to make well-informed decisions. In addition, the book offers insights into how to improve attention and focus, skills that Gates considers crucial in the business environment and in everyday life. By training your memory, you also develop a greater ability to concentrate, which is essential in a world full of digital distractions. 4 argues that memory is not a fixed skill, but something that can be worked on and improved over time. This view that the human mind can be shaped and improved is something that Gates also advocates in other areas of life, such as continuous learning and personal development. An interesting aspect of the book is the way 4 deconstructs the idea that extraordinary memory is something reserved only for people with exceptional brains. On the contrary, he shows that memory is a skill accessible to anyone willing to invest time and practice. Bill Gates admires this approach because it encourages people to realize that, with the right tools and techniques, anyone can overcome their cognitive limitations and reach new levels of performance, whether in academic life, in business, or even in social interactions. For also touches on more philosophical questions about memory and its relationship to our identity. What we remember defines who we are and how we see the world. Gates, always interested in issues surrounding human development, recognizes that moonwalking with Einstein goes beyond practical memorization techniques and challenges us to reflect on the importance of remembering and creating meaningful connections with the information we absorb. Ultimately, moonwalking with Einstein offers a combination of personal narrative, science, and practical strategies for anyone wishing to improve their memory. Bill Gates recommends the book as an effective tool for transforming a skill that is often underestimated into a significant differentiator in personal and professional life. For reminds us that memory is a fundamental human skill and that, with dedication, everyone can improve this vital aspect of our lives. Life is What You Make It by Peter Buffett. In Life is What You Make It, Peter Buffett, son of legendary investor Warren Buffett, shares his reflections on life, choices, and how to find personal satisfaction, regardless of external expectations. Bill Gates recommends this book because it carries a powerful message about the importance of forging your own path, a principle that Gates considers essential for success and happiness. Although Peter was born into an incredibly wealthy family, the book shows that his journey was marked by decisions and values that did not revolve around wealth, but rather the search for meaning and purpose. Peter Buffett argues that the most important legacy his father left him was not money, but a philosophy of life centered on independence and authenticity. He describes how, from an early age, he was encouraged to follow his own passions, without being pressured to enter the business world or to follow in his father's footsteps in the financial market. For Gates, this message is crucial because it reinforces the idea that success should not be measured solely by the accumulation of wealth, but by the ability to live a life that reflects your true values and aspirations. One of the central themes of the book is the power of choices. Peter Buffett points out that we all face moments of decision throughout our lives and that these choices shape the course we take. Rather than following a path predetermined by family or social pressures, he encourages readers to make decisions based on what really matters to them. Gates appreciates this approach because it encourages deep reflection on what it means to live authentically. Success, according to Peter, is not something that is achieved by following a fixed roadmap, but something that is built on the conscious choices we make. Peter also discusses the relationship between work and personal fulfillment. For him, the ideal job is not one that just pays well, but one that offers a sense of purpose and contribution. Gates, who has spent most of his life dedicated to projects aimed at improving the world, resonates strongly with this vision. He believes that true satisfaction comes when work is aligned with your values and when you can see the positive impact of your actions. The book also explores the idea that although we have no control over many aspects of our lives, such as the environment we are born into or the opportunities we are presented with, we always have the power to choose how we react to these circumstances. Peter Buffett emphasizes that the real power lies in taking responsibility for these choices and creating the best from what we have. For Gates, who also defends the importance of personal responsibility, this is a fundamental lesson for anyone who wants to achieve success and happiness. Another interesting aspect of Life is What You Make It is the approach to dealing with other people's expectations. Peter describes how, as Warren Buffett's son, many people expected him to pursue a career in finance. However, he decided to pursue a career in music, a path that inspired him and was in line with his personal values. Gates admires this courage to follow a less conventional path, especially when there is such strong external pressure. This kind of courage is something that Gates believes is essential for anyone who wants to live a full and authentic life. Finally, Peter Buffett reminds us that true success cannot be measured in numbers or external achievements, but rather in the ability to live a life in which you feel fulfilled and at peace with yourself. For Gates, Life is What You Make It offers a refreshing and inspiring perspective on how to live with purpose, regardless of what others expect of you. The Innovators by Walter Isaacson. The Innovators by Walter Isaacson is essential reading for anyone who wants to understand the history of modern technology and the pioneers who paved the way for the digital revolution. Bill Gates recommends this book because it offers a comprehensive view of how great innovations emerge not from isolated individuals, but from collaborations between visionaries over several generations. Isaacson traces the transition from the Industrial Revolution to the digital age, highlighting key figures such as Ada Lovelace, Alan Turing, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, and many others who shaped the world of technology as we know it today. The book begins by exploring the role of Ada Lovelace, the daughter of Lord Byron, who in the 19th century created the concept of programming by imagining that machines could perform more than simple calculations. Bill Gates sees this part of history as a clear example of how the foresight of great thinkers can influence future generations. Lovelace's impact, even without seeing his ideas realized in his time, underscores the importance of creativity and imagination in science and technology, something that Gates believes is fundamental to progress. Walter Isaacson also devotes a good part of the book to exploring the life and work of Alan Turing, whose contributions to computing and the development of artificial intelligence are indispensable. Turing is portrayed as one of the great heroes of innovation, not only for his role during the Second World War in deciphering Nazi codes, but also for his vision of the future of machines. Gates admires Isaacson's focus on figures like Turing, who helped define the foundations of modern computer science, showing that innovation doesn't happen in isolation, but as part of a chain of interconnected discoveries. Another important point addressed in The Innovators is the rise of the personal computer and the internet. Isaacson explores how collaboration between engineers, programmers, and visionaries allowed the computer to leave restricted laboratories and become a tool accessible to the public. The story of the creation of Microsoft and Apple, for example, is one of the most inspiring passages for Gates, who appears as one of the protagonists of this revolution. He believes that understanding the story behind the creation of these tech giants offers valuable lessons on the importance of perseverance, teamwork, and long-term vision in the business world. The book also highlights the crucial role of collaboration in technological innovation. Isaacson argues that, contrary to the myth of the lone genius, most great inventions arise from collaborative efforts. Gates has always emphasized the importance of teamwork, both in building Microsoft and in his philanthropic initiatives, and The Innovators reinforces this idea by showing how many of the advances of the digital age were the result of collaborations between scientists, engineers, and entrepreneurs. In addition, Isaacson looks at the creation of the internet and how it has revolutionized the way we live and work. Gates considers this to be one of the most important points of the book, as the internet is undoubtedly one of the greatest innovations in recent history. Isaacson's work shows that the construction of the internet was the result of decades of work by countless people, from the first ARPANET developers to the founders of Google. Gates appreciates this perspective because it illuminates the complexity and interconnectedness of technological innovations, challenging the idea that they arise from a single place or a single person. Finally, The Innovators offers a fundamental lesson: innovation is a continuous and collaborative process. For Bill Gates, this message is essential because the history of technology, as presented by Isaacson, reminds us that the great ideas of today are built on the shoulders of giants of the past. In recommending this book, Gates encourages readers to look at the history of innovation not just as a series of isolated events, but as a continuous flow of ideas that, together, have transformed the world. Thanks for watching. If you like the content, don't forget to leave your like. It really helps the channel to grow. And if you're not subscribed yet, take the opportunity to subscribe now and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. And of course, let me know in the comments what you think or if there are any topics you'd like to see here. I read everything and always bring you what you ask for. Thank you very much for your company, and I'll see you in the next video.